An interesting issue came up today. I had a user ask me about how to get a report on the file size of each particular folder within the Outlook client. Now, most people may know how to do this, but this particular user had an issue, and he said that, look, I've got many folders, and therefore getting a report is quite difficult. So let me show you what I mean by that. If you go to the Outlook client, you right-click the inbox and select Properties, this is the dialog box that comes up. Now, if you click on the folder size button, this is the button most people know about. And this is going to give you your folders, your size, and your total size. Now, most people would think, well, okay, fine, I'll just sort this by total size, click up here, and get that sorted. But right now I'm trying to click and nothing's happening. Okay, so it's not like a normal dialog box. Now, the problem with this user was that he had many folders here. Therefore, if he scrolls down, there'd be many screenfuls that he'd have to go through. Okay, and getting a report is kind of tricky. So his question was, can I get into Excel and can I get a chart and all that kind of thing? Well, the short answer is typically no, but if you use the right tools, you can do so. So let me show you how to do that. First thing you're going to need is a tool called Snagit. This is a screen capture tool, which I believe is the best on the market. It costs about $50, but there's a 30-day free trial that you can use to make sure whether it's a tool that you'll find useful. This is the default mode that the tool is going to be in, and it basically captures a region as an image, which is the default. But this tool is really powerful, and what you can do is you can change the mode to text from window, and then we're going to go to scrolling and auto scroll. So I click on that. That's now in the mode that I want. I now click on the capture link. And now what's going to happen is that when I hover over this particular section, I'm going to get a red outline that goes around this window. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't work with me recording the video, so I'm just going to pause and show you what the result is. And again, all that would happen is there'd be a red rectangle around here. I click inside that rectangle, and it would then scroll through that entire window and capture everything, but as text, not as an image. Okay, so I'll just pause and come back in 1 second. Now that the capture is complete, this is what's come back. And you can see here that the cool thing is that it's actually in text. It's no longer an image. Right? So what we want to do now is we want to highlight all of the content. We want to right click and say copy. We now no longer need this. Then we go to Excel and we paste that content in. Now you'll see that in reality it's all in one big column. We don't want that. We want this to be column A, this to be column B, and this to be column C. So to do that, we highlight column A, we go to the Data tab, we select Text to Columns, and we step through the wizard. So we say Fixed Width, next. Over here, this is Excel having a best guess as to where the delimiter should be. Everything looks okay with this exception. I want to move this one out because this is all one column. I say Next. And then we select the type of formatting for each column. So I'll say text, text, and text, even though there are numbers in there, but that's fine. And I click on Finish. And now once I've done that, you can see that it is looking pretty good. All right. So now if we want to get rid of the spaces or the blanks in between, the blank rows, the easy way to do that is we highlight all of the content by columns, and we simply sort it. Actually, let me make a slight modification because I don't want to sort the top row, which is the label headers. So I'm going to select that. Okay, so I'll ignore that top one. Then I'll sort by column A. Boom. And now everything's looking good. And this has maintained the right sequencing as well. So now that it's in this format, it's pretty much done. So I can easily see all of my data in a spreadsheet. I can chart it. I can do whatever I like. All right, one last thing that I wanted to mention is that if you wanted to get fancy and properly manipulate this, you probably want to get rid of the KB on all of these. So the easiest way to do that is via a search and replace. So I'm going to go to replace here. Hopefully you can see that in the video, or the shortcut key is Control H for that. And then what we want to replace is space KB. and B, and we want to replace it with nothing. Alright, so I'll say replace all. Alright, 22 replacements. Everything's looking better, but this is still officially formatted in text. So really what we want to do now is we want to format this as numbers. So we highlight those two columns as we've done there. We go to format and we say format cells as numbers. Decimal places, do we want them? No, we don't. I'll say 0. And there you go. So now if I want to, I can highlight this and I can say insert what type of diagram? Let's do a pie graph. And there's a fancy little pie graph for you. Alright, hope that helps.